Namaste, angels. Thank you for joining, liking, sharing, and subscribing. Aquarius, this is your reading. Last time, or the first time that I ever did these bi-weekly readings, or at least in recent times, I started from Aries and then worked to Pisces. And this time I started with Pisces and I'm working toward Aries. So you're second up. That Pisces reading, you came up quite a bit. I couldn't get Aquarius off my mind or out of my mouth. I kept saying Aquarius. And a lot of the cards that I'm seeing here now, I saw in that reading. And I also said that there could be something very strong coming through between an Aquarius and a Pisces. And or, somebody with both energies. Maybe like a Pisces sun, an Aquarius moon, or something like that. Or a Cuspian even. Could have been what was coming through and what I was feeling, but a lot of your energy, Aquarius, showed up in that Pisces reading. I don't know if I'll ever get that Pisces reading up, however, because it went so long that I need to upload it to Dropbox and it keeps failing. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get it out. Maybe that's the universe telling me to redo it. I don't know. In any case, this is your reading. If you're new to the channel, I just started doing bi-weekly readings again, after not doing them for actually a couple of years last time. So again, this is the second one. I do read reversals. In my other readings, I do shuffle live. Everything is live recorded in my other readings. Shuffling, cutting, all that stuff. But in these, in the interest of time, to keep them shorter, I've pre-laid everything. So you have 4 cards. This one representing yourself most directly, this one like surrounding energy, so it could still be you and or friends and family, loved ones, things like that, people maybe that you work with. This one is actually your work and finance specifically, and this is your love and relationship, love and romance. And then I've got a couple decks of oracle cards here, overall energy for those, for you Aquarius, new love, from what I call my hashtag creepy deck, from the Abundance Oracle. Focus on your priorities. When you put your focus where you put your focus is where you receive your outcome. Your priorities are calling you, which may produce a feeling of anxiety unless you give them the time and attention that they and you deserve. Even a small amount of time devoted to your priorities will help you feel better and more confident. Well, speaking of anxiety, I'm going to jump around for just a second. Give an overall energy of this deck. Which is, it's funny, they just revealed the 9 of air to me. It's in reverse, but they're making me look at it. So 9 of air is about worry and anxiety, yeah. And in this deck, which is a tarot deck, it's the Angel Tarot, your overall energy is the 5 of air. An unwise choice. Learn what you can from this situation. Review everyone's motives. So this can be about you having a problem with somebody being, or a couple people, whatever, some sort of conflict, or it can be about you being conflicted. Swords or air energy is often about what's going on in our own mind. So again, this can be connected to your anxiety too. You being anxious, particularly anxious about something, a subject, a situation in your life. And instead of doing that, you need to focus in a positive way on your priorities. For some of you, that's love. It's a relationship, it's romance, whether it's romantic love or it's with a friend, a close friend, a partnership, a business partnership, doing something that you love, right? The job of your dreams, the company of your dreams, or it could be a familial relationship or something, but there's the energy of the 2 of water or 2 of cups, a relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict, right? Here's the conflict, here's the resolution. So over the next couple weeks, this is a bi-weekly reading for the period of Monday, October 7th through Sunday, October 20th. So, something could be happening in the area of a conflict with a loved one, or again, a business partner that you care about, and or the 2 of you are doing something that you love. Or maybe roommates, right? You're in the place of your dreams, but there's a problem with the relationship between us. We got to fix that. Another card that is indicative of possible anxiety is this 9 of Wands. It can be about you feeling like you've got too much going on. You're stressed out. You're anxious. You keep falling and, getting back up. You've been feeling down, wondering if you're out. You're not. You're getting back up. The Nine of Wands is about perseverance. But again, it can be about anxiety and just feeling overwhelmed. I've just got too much going on. Or the people with whom I'm dealing have too much going on. And maybe I need to change something about the people with whom I'm dealing. Speaking of swords and air and anxiety and fear and worry, your overall energy is the Seven of Swords. And that can be about those same things too, in addition to thievery, actual theft, right? Somebody taking something from you. I tend to sum it up as the energy of joy stealing is what it represents for me. So, because even we can steal our own joy. This card can be about a lack of confidence, a lack of esteem, an unwillingness or fear of taking risks and trying something new and all that kind of stuff. And right behind it, which is one of the cards that showed up in the Aquarius reading that I didn't know was sitting here behind it, is the Eight of Swords. This is about a false sense of entrapment, right? We could be holding ourselves back. We're restricting ourselves. So again, maybe we're stealing our own joy. We're afraid to try something new and to take a risk. And we're anxious about something. Again, maybe a relationship with somebody. Maybe we're anxious about reconciling, trying again if the relationship was pre-existing. And so there's fear. Also upright behind the Eight of Swords is the Four of Cups upright. So this is like about having a couple of options, different options. We're not really excited about them. We're sort of, they're underwhelming as far as we're concerned. Maybe because our mind is somewhere else. Maybe because we're focused, again, on being trapped and feeling negative and feeling anxious, that we're not even really looking at the options and giving them a chance, and maybe discovering that something pretty good is in, one or both. Also, our emotions may be involved in this too, tied to this energy, whatever the Four of Cups represents for us, because cups are about love and emotion, so it's like how we're feeling. We're distracted by something and we're unimpressed again with what else is going on around us. We could miss out on something good because of that feeling that we're experiencing right now, with our head being like that. So we could rob ourselves of opportunity is basically what that means. But to get back and try to go in a little bit of order, from the Angel Therapy card, your overall energy is emotional sensitivity. Honor and respect your deep sensitivity, as it is a gift to us all. So this is about maybe needing to change the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves, because you're becoming more sensitive. I made a post earlier this week in my YouTube feed, and I don't do that often, but I had gotten an email, and I don't even know how I get on some of these email lists. I really don't know. But I got an email from the woman, the author of, again, what I call the hashtag creepy deck. And if you have this deck, as a matter of fact, I have the book right here. In the book, it's right here. Twin Flame. Let me just show you what it says. So you see, I'm not a hater. It is what it is. I didn't make this book. She made this book, and she described Twin Flame. So let me tell you what it says here. Clearly, I wasn't prepared to do this. Here it is, Twin Flame. It's like you're taking too long. Let me open right to the page for you. Twin Flame. The highest soul connection. I agree with that. Potential of true bliss. I agree with that too. Let's skip down here. It is an effortless relationship. Not true. Not true. Anybody who is actually a twin flame or experience any of these soul connections knows that it is not easy. Again, I agree with this part. The highest soul connection. But there is a potential for true bliss. Absolutely. But it is a lot of work. It is a lot of lessons, karmic lessons that come your way. It's a lot of alone time involved in these relationships because we're having to grow and evolve on our own. It's not at all an effortless relationship. So clearly the person who made this has no idea what a twin flame is, and probably should stay out of that area. So I had posted about how oh, that person that made this book, she also is teaching mediumship, which is something that, oh, that kind of thing drives me crazy too. Like, you can't teach people to be psychic. But she's teaching mediumship and holding mediumship classes. And I just posted, you know, honor your sensitivities, basically, is what I said. An ascending soul, a growing soul, is super, super sensitive. We have to nurture it and care for it and be careful with it. We can't expose it to any and every Tom, Dick, and Harry that claims, to be of the light and love and to mean us well and to be focused on our growth and helping us, not on money. You know, it would be nice if we could believe everybody that did that. If everybody did mean what they say and say what they meant and was honest and, had integrity, but that's not the case. So we may have to make changes with what's going on in our immediate lives, what's surrounding us, or who we've allowed ourselves to be surrounded by, or what we've allowed ourselves to be surrounded by, or what we've partaken in. That may be an issue. And this card that represents you, the Hierophant in reverse, can be saying something about that too. I often read the Hierophant as a need to make some sort of adjustments to the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves, and move toward those and that which is more of our vibration or higher, from which we can learn something, rather than low vibes that drag us down and frauds and things that can get us in trouble. We don't want to expose our soul to any and everybody. Your soul. Think about what I'm saying. Your soul. We're so careful with our physical bodies, right? We don't want to give them to just anybody, or we try not to, or we try to protect ourselves. If we do give them to somebody, we're going to put on some sort of sheath, a condom, whatever's gloves, whatever's applicable, right? But with our soul, we're so desperate for love sometimes, and clarity and understanding of our spiritual journey, that we're willing to give any and everybody permission to access our soul complex. It is so very dangerous. So I don't want to go way off on a tangent about that. But obviously it is something about which I'm extremely passionate in trying to help people to preserve their spiritual health. Overall energy again here with the Angel Tarot is the Five of Air. Again, I talked about conflict, and upright right behind it, the Two of Cups or water being, and so it may be conflict with a partnership, and or being conflicted about a partnership, or worried or anxious about a disagreement that we have with somebody. In the Pisces reading, it seemed like that may be with somebody close to us, like a parent and or child or romantic partner, very possibly, where there had been conflict. Overall energy from your romance angels. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And another card that showed up in the last reading, message from afar. I talked about the many things this can mean. It can be right here on this plane of existence, the 3D. We're getting texts and phone calls. Somebody's at a distance. They're long distance. They don't live in the same area or whatever. They're away. They're contacting us. This can be telepathy. Maybe we're not hearing, in that terms. We're not communicating in that way at all. We're communicating through thought. Even if we're right face to face, sometimes people speak without words. There can be that happening. This can be about your spiritual connection. So can the Hierophant. Again, Hierophant can be about spirituality, and this can be about connections that you're trying to make, clarity into what you're trying to come. You're trying to evolve spiritually. You're trying to go, but maybe you've been trapped by these thoughts and words that are negative, that have been holding you back. You've been restraining yourself. I don't think purposely. I think inadvertently, but just through fear. And I talked a lot about fear of success and fear of happiness, fear of joy in the Pisces reading. So here's a message from afar. Can be the universe trying to guide us. But speaking of the Pisces reading and Aquarius, just sort of intermingling, commingling, right behind this message from afar is this card Balance, which is very Temperance, like for me, Temperance in the tarot represents the sign of Sagittarius. That was another energy that continued to come up. It was Aquarius, Sagittarius, and Leo. I think in that order. Or maybe Sagittarius and Leo, the two fire energies, about even keel. But yeah, Aquarius came up million times. But what does this look like? Aquarius and Pisces, possibly, right? Air and water. The card is called Balance, and it is about maybe our inner masculine and feminine coming together in a harmonious way, or us as a masculine being or as a feminine being coming together with our counterpart, supporting one another, helping one another through difficult times, one being the other's backbone. It looks like the feminine's got the masculine's back. He is experiencing some sort of emotional turmoil, difficulty. He is underwhelmed, maybe like the Four of Cups. But she can help him to get back to wholeness. So that's balance. Also behind that, the golden path tells me we're on the right path. We're going the right direction. You know, even if it doesn't feel like it, things are as they are meant. And it's a very Wizard of Oz sort of energy. Is very reminiscent of the Wizard of Oz for me. I see the rainbows in the trees here. Right? And the song goes somewhere over the rainbow, right? That's like where the dreams come true. So when we get down there, we got to stay on path. Also, in the Wizard of Oz, they go down the yellow brick road. This kind of looks like the yellow brick road. They're headed toward what? The Emerald City. That's the purpose of going down the yellow brick road. Well, you know what the emerald ray is? The path toward healing. The emerald ray is the ray of healing. So that's what this card means to me. It's like we're on track and we're headed toward that healing. Speaking of healing, upright behind it is Enchantment. And this card is one, probably the most significant in terms of healing for me in this deck. I don't know if that's how the author intended it to come across, but for me, I see a woman who has been through it. I see scars on her face, on her neck. I see that she's nude, so she's fully vulnerable. I see her breasts here. Right, there's the outline of her breasts. Despite that, her head is tilted back, her eyes are closed. She's completely comfortable in full surrender at her most vulnerable, most bare. And she's allowing these two rays, this blue one and this red one, maybe it's Mars and Venus. Maybe she's coming into balance with that masculine and feminine. She's allowing them both to enter her and heal her. And so that's the last upright card behind these. I'll tell you what's the next card in general. It is Sacred Unions, but it's in reverse. So this is another Two of Cups like sort of card. And again, maybe some of us have relationships to heal. New love, self-explanatory, hashtag creepy deck. So this is either brand new love, like we're meeting somebody, or it's reconciliation, so it's love anew or renewed. Going back to the card that represents you, the Hierophant in reverse. Mostly this is about, yes, it can be about a need to make adjustments to the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves, from my perspective, the way I read it. But the Hierophant in general is about tradition. And when the Hierophant is in reverse, like this, it can be about wanting to keep a tradition and or do the right thing, right? The right thing. What's the right thing? Sometimes the right thing is what is right for us. Focus on your priorities. What is going to make you happy? What is going to serve you? Sometimes that's the right thing, even if that's not what society says is, the right thing. Think of things that are just not cool, that are supposedly the right thing, that are just, that are legal, right? Slavery was legal at one point. At one point it was the right thing to do, right? But is it really the right thing? No, it's not right to imprison other people, human beings, innocent human beings. So that's what we gotta I mean, we gotta go that deep necessarily, but we gotta think of it in that vein, in that respect. Like, when I say the right thing, what does that really mean? It means focus on your priorities. It means watch how you talk about yourself. No more complaining, because complaining is like negative stuff. It's like manifesting negativity. Complaints are affirmations of victimhood, right? It's about what you don't have, and that's never true spiritually. Take back your God-given power by affirming that you have an abundance of choices and freedom. Aquarius is all about freedom. It is the sign of freedom and humanitarianism. With your increased confidence, remember I talked about this could be about low confidence and lack of esteem in yourself, stealing your own joy. But with your increased confidence and assertiveness, you can watch these positive affirmations blossom into your reality, because our thoughts and our words we speak over ourselves becomes our reality. Also, right behind this, also upright, is the power of prayer. What is prayer? It's focused intention. It's manifestation. It's the law of attraction at work. Right? It's speaking things over yourself. Give this situation to God or the universe, whatever if you want to, don't believe in God per se, just give it up. Surrender to the universe for uplifting and healing. And be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance that God gives you in response to those prayers. So, again, focusing upon your priorities. The priority is you. And or maybe there is a situation where you feel you need to do the right thing, and that aligns with what society or whatever entity or ideology that you believe in also deems is the right thing. That's what you're going to want to do when you're surrounded by the Hierophant, or when you're in this energy of the Hierophant in reverse. Again, next to that is the Nine of Wands. So this position can be about, again, your friends, your family, different loved ones, people, energies that are surrounding you. In connection to the Hierophant, this can be about these people like unloading too much on you, expecting too much of you, wanting too much of you, and you're sort of turned upside down because this is too much. I'm overwhelmed. I would like to focus on myself. I got my own things going on. The Nine of Wands actually says you can do it all if that's what you're wanting to do, and if you feel that's the right thing to do. Maybe some of the things that people want you to do you don't think are just or appropriate, and then if that's the case, then don't get involved. Work and finance. Two of Wands, as it relates to work, means things are about to get a lot better than they've been at your office. And or you may be starting your own business. It might be a partnership. Maybe doing something that you love, like the Two of Cups that showed up could represent. And as it relates to finance more directly as opposed to work per se, it's also about increase and balance that is coming, but may require some focused intention and faith. Twos are about faith in order to grow and heal those finances and have them continue to get better and better and better. It's about fairness and equality too, though. And now that I'm thinking about it again in relation to the card that sits atop it, this Hierophant in reverse, the right thing. The right thing is for you to be paid appropriately. So if you're in a position where you need to ask for salary, or it is asked of you what kind of salary you're looking for, or what kind of, what's the salary range, maybe you're applying for a new job, or you're up for a promotion, you're being reviewed or whatever, ask for what you are worth, what is fair and just toward you. And you may just be pleasantly surprised that you get it. You're going to need confidence. Right? You're going to need to not come off full of fear of anxiety, because that's what you're going to manifest if you're feeling that way. But yeah, ask for what you're worth. You got another 2 for your love life. It is Major Arcana card 2, the High Priestess. High Priestess, it's about being super, super attractive. That could be what these options are about too, with the Four of Cups. Even though, again, it seems like we're not necessarily impressed. But we could be, a lot of people could have us on their list and be, super attracted to us right now. And just having our choice at what we want. If we are coupled or otherwise not looking or have a crush or interested in somebody in particular, we could have some sort of stark difference from them, and it's non-traditional. And crossing the Hierophant in reverse, it's demonstrating that it's non-traditional. So, you're short and I'm tall. You're Christian and I'm Muslim. You're black and I'm white, or whatever it is. It's different. I'm older than you, and maybe it's really non-traditional. Maybe I'm a female and I'm older than you. You're the male. They might think it was cute if you were older than me and you're the male and I was the female. But sometimes in reverse, that's non-traditional. It's like a taboo. So that can be what the High Priestess upright represents as a term in terms of love. But also, if you are interested in women, I'll start with that. It may be a woman who is, or seemingly at least, like unapproachable, distant, perhaps cold even, like a Queen of Swords, like an Aquarian. And I'm not talking about you guys. I too am not only a Queen of Swords, which you can tell by my name, a Gemini sun, but I'm an Aquarius moon, and I got a lot more Aquarius than just my moon. I got several placements. So I get it, and I'm with you here. I mean, this is like a reading for me too. But you know how we can come off. And so the idea is to figure out for yourself or decide for yourself whether it's true, like whether this person is unapproachable. And if you begin to feel that way, let it go. Like, you don't want to chase somebody, because chasing doesn't work anyway. Chasing chases them away. It doesn't draw them to you, right? We want to attract. It's the law of attraction, not the law of chasing. So, if it just feels too inorganic, like it's being forced, then don't do it. There used to be a song, don't push it, don't force it, let it happen naturally. It will surely happen if it was meant to be. Yeah, I don't know from what year. I think from when I was a little girl, so it's pretty old probably. But yeah, that's what I'm hearing and that's what I'm getting. Don't force anything. Alternatively, yeah, because we are of the element of air, swords, as is the High Priestess. She's a Gemini. Actually, in the Rider-Waite Tarot, that's Isis that sits there between the two columns of King Solomon. But yeah, since we are of the element of air, this could be us who is not only super attractive to other people right now, but maybe we're feeling as if we're unapproachable. And if that's the case, and of course you want to be approached, that's within your purview, Aquarius, to fix. If you're feeling trapped and stuck and left out of love, you can change that. It's in your power to take a risk, a chance on yourself, risk in love, and go for it. And if you want to meet somebody, get yourself out there. Further advice to that from the masculine, because I do have the advice cards separated by masculine and feminine archetype. They are not gender or sexuality specific, and there's no rule that says that you can't, take all of the advice to heart and resonate with it if that's what you so choose. But I do have it otherwise broken down for those of us who are more heavily masculine and or more heavily feminine, right? So for the masculine, true love. The true love, new love, all these Two of Cups, it's just a matter of working some relationship out, I think. And again, and opening our hearts, opening ourselves, being willing to both give and receive love, and releasing the energy of fear and allowing yourself to be happy. So like I said in the Pisces reading, I was picking up a lot of this just fear of being happiness, which is called cherophobia, which I explained to them what cherophobia was. It's like fear of happiness. And it comes from a Greek word called chero. I'm probably not pronouncing it right, but it's spelled C-H-A-I-R, like chair, O. And it means I rejoice. And when people are and fear of rejoicing, of being happy. It's like fear of success, and that we draw back and we begin to think of negative things, and that's how we end up manifesting sometimes, unfortunately, negative things into our lives. So allow yourself to be open and available to true love, and even new love, and maybe true new love, meeting somebody brand new and just having the experience of a lifetime. For the feminine, it is Beauty Queen. So this is a card about confidence. Venus, she rules beauty and confidence. So this High Priestess coming in too. And like I said, the High Priestess is the Gemini. Venus is a ruler of Gemini. She's the esoteric ruler of Gemini. Venus is the ruler of beauty. She's the ruler of confidence. She's the ruler of love. And so that's maybe why people are so attractive to you, feminine, because you've got this whole Venus thing going on right now. Venus at this time, covering this period of the 2 weeks, she's going to be starting out in Libra, which she rules. So that's an excellent placement for her. One of her most, loving and balanced, because, she's at home. But she does move into Scorpio, water signs, fellow water sign to the Pisces, Scorpio. And so that can get a little bit more sexy. And maybe that's why she's feeling like this, so confident. But I'm also seeing all the fire that's surrounding her too, with all the red. So there's passion, there's just, a go-getter feminine in here. Like, you can't be stopped. You're just super attractive, and you're super powerful right now. Like, I am woman, hear me roar. And maybe speaking of roar, maybe this fire is perhaps again representative of the signs of Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries. I'd say in that order. From the Abundance Oracle to the Masculine, unlimited ideas. Your mind is one with God's infinite mind. Therefore, you have complete access to unlimited ideas, guaranteed to bring blessings. All you need to do is to take a divinely guided action, like a chance. Message from afar. Divinely guided. Risk. Chance. That's all you need to do, it says. And then allow these ideas to come to fruition. The feminine from the Abundance Oracle, it is declutter. More Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords, sometimes called the Feng Shui Queen. Clearing away the people, places, and things with which she does not resonate, does not align. You'll feel better and more focused if you'll take the time to clear away clutter from your living space or your workspace. Donate what you can to help others who may need the items. And be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. And I'm saying not only your schedule, but your life in general. From the Angel Therapy cards to the Masculine, it is Goddess. Express your divine feminine energy. Yes, you have one too. We each have an inner masculine and feminine. All souls are androgynous at the soul level, or all people are androgynous at the soul level. Express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition and nurturing qualities. That's the High Priestess in you too. Also, the Goddess or feminine energy is about surrender. So it's about letting go, and again, allowing the universe to just guide you, and allowing everything to be organic and natural and not forcing anything. Angel Therapy cards to the feminine. Have you asked your angels for help with this? This card showed up in the Pisces reading for the Pisceans too. Your angels want to help you with this situation. However, they require your permission before they can intervene in your free will choices. So it's up to you to let them in. The same way you got to let love from other areas in. You want the love in exchange with the angels. You got to let them in too. They want to help. Speaking of angels from the Angel Therapy cards, and speaking of Pisces, it is Major Arcana card 18, the Moon, which represents the sign of Pisces. It's also about heightened intuition for you, masculine. Unlimited ideas, thoughts, things going through you that you can manifest. You might not know about what's ahead, right? There's some stuff that's being kept in the dark, or about which you're being kept in the dark. Secrets, just unknowns. The future, right? Who knows what what lies ahead. But despite that, important psychic insights are coming to you. Okay, maybe again, messages from afar. Universe is talking to you. There are events happening behind the scenes. What you need to do is release any fears that are holding you back. And to keep moving ahead as you're being guided. Very courageously, bravely, be a risk taker. Again, Major Arcana card 18. The moon represents the sign of Pisces in the tarot. I usually say, if it's in terms of water signs, Pisces, then Cancer, then Scorpio, in that order when you're talking about tarot. Because the real moon, or Earth's moon at least, there's several real moons. Earth's moon rules the sign of Cancer. So, you know, otherwise Cancer would otherwise trump Pisces, but in the tarot, Pisces is first, represented by the moon. Angel therapy card, speaking of Sagittarius and Leo, it is the Knight of Fire, who is passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. The Knight of Fire is often somebody that, you know, just swoops in, Prince Charming, to the rescue, saves the day, and maybe the energy dissipates after that. It may just keep going. Often for me, the Knight of Fire is not an actual person, but more an energy of Mars or Jupiter, right? Something very quickly and aggressively comes and, you know, changes the energy around us for the better. But it may be a person, and in the case that it is, they may be somebody who swoops in very quickly and then, you know, fades away. Whether they don't necessarily leave your life, but maybe things will slow down. So maybe if it's related to love and maybe a relationship happening with you, again, a lot of people being attracted to you, somebody may come in, maybe super hot and heavy for a while, and then sort of slow down. That doesn't mean that you're going to separate, that the relationship is going to end, but it won't continue to be as hot and heavy as it starts out. When the romance angels to the masculine, flirt. Extend your light-hearted energy to others, especially if you had conflict prior and things were uptight, things were heavy. There was like a cloud hanging over us, heavy energy, and just uncomfortable. We want to bring ourselves, you know, bring things back together. Then extending our light-hearted energy to others and, you know, being flirty and fun is a way to do it. Romance angels to the feminine, attraction. Speaking of all the law of attraction stuff I was talking about, we need to use it. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. So you're putting out positive energy and happy energy and joyful energy. That's what's going to come towards you. And lastly, from the Universal Love Oracle, it is forgiveness with Kuan Yin, another card that showed up in the Aquarius reading. And it is about just that, the need to forgive. We begin with ourselves and then any and everybody else that we feel we need to forgive, because it helps us, right? It's making ourselves a priority. It helps us to forgive and to release, you know, the energy of anger, especially if we've been holding on to it for a long time, having conflict and holding grudges. It helps. Again, there may be some Pisceans and Aquarians that were or are in relationships that maybe we're having some difficulty or even in separation, reconciling, at least to the extent that we can forgive and, you know, kiss and make up and shake hands and all that kind of stuff. Lastly, guardian for the feminine. So when we're feeling alone, it's a reminder that we are not. And that's another reason why there is no need to be afraid or anxious. You can let go of that energy of the 7 of Swords or the 8 of Swords or the 9 of Swords and be the confident, strong being that's definitely not afraid to be themselves by themselves. We can be one man on an island. That's what Aquarius is all about. I don't have to agree with you or see things your way. I got my own unlimited ideas, and I don't care if they don't align with anybody else's, if they're non-traditional or whatever the case is. I'll go it alone if I have to save the world, right? That's how we are. And that's particularly how the feminine can be if she wants to draw on this energy over the next 2 weeks. Again, I'm woman. Hear me roar. Confident, strong, powerful, empowered. I hope you guys have enjoyed your bi-weekly reading, Aquarius. Be sure to check out your rising sign and your moon sign as well. And if you want a private reading from me, I'll put the information in the box. It's also, of course, all over my channel. You can hit me up on social media. Not only a reading, but any of my other services. And, of course, the merchandise. I'm partnered with some pretty awesome artists. And they're making nice designs for different things. Mugs, shirts, tapestries, bedspreads, comforters, all that kind of stuff. So check us out. Namaste.